before we know Liberia is our home. The Declaration of Independence was signed in 1847. 11 nations of people, we are known as First Republic, the Lone Star shining evermore. The flag of Liberia is flying all the time. Show your allegiance, show your loyalty to this nation, Liberia. If my people who are over money, we humble themselves and seek my face, I will rise and heal their nation. Liberia will rise again. Nations will come to your rising. I prophesy. Kingdom will come to your life. Together, let's keep the peace.
Tracy.
Folks, let's say a pleasant welcome.
Me P, producer.
let's say a very pleasant warm welcome to another presentation of Sports Talk on Intel Sports. My name is Ben Gagba. My teammate tonight is Chris Walker. And let me quickly welcome Chris. Chris, welcome.
It's a pleasure always being here on Intel Sports. And today promises to be interesting. Lots of things to discuss today. And we are here to serve the Liberian people.
So there are a few things we are looking at today following your win of the kickball competition at the close of the 2024 National County Sports Meet. The players that represented the county, that's Maryland County in both football and kickball, are yet to receive their bonus. Did I say Maryland? Riverside County, they are yet to receive their bonus. We hear from the steering committee chair, Ora Willie. Okay, he will tell us more about that. How far have they gone speaking with the authority to get the kids or the boys and girls paid after their heroic effort, especially the kickball team coming on top as #1 following that Founder Sunday. And then elsewhere, we'll discuss surfing. For those of you who want to know what surfing is, it's a game that people play on the river, or you can go skating, on top of the river and so forth. So we thought a few folks that have been in control of the game, and I think they currently should be playing somewhere there in Grand Cape County. But when they come on, they will tell us more about that. And then also, we're going to discuss chess lengthily in this edition of the program. We'll hear from the chess president, Mr. Thomas Kaya, where Liberia hosting a regional competition there in Magibi County at Creed Lodge, where Intel Sports have been covering it through Elijah Pan extensively. But we will have the chance to go closer to the competition tonight to talk to the chairman or the president of the championship in Liberia. There's been some exciting matches already. Currently, they are playing I think round 4 or round 5 or so. Will reflect on that victory by Abigail Kawa, Liberia female #1 player, after Ifilek upset the #1 player in Nigeria in the female category. So more on that, we'll talk about, plus other trendy events in sports. Obviously, the U17 Momo Community League that is currently being covered by Intel Sports. We'll also talk the ongoing Montserrat Sub Association 3rd Division playoffs and much more.
We also will talk about the Under 17 female national team. They have a big game coming up this weekend against Senegal. They lost during the week away from home. We'll have a chance to talk about that. We have the postmat in with Sekou, the judges, Moduba, I think we'll have that. And other, like you said, training issue. There are some, how do I say, football or sports ponies who have problem with the selection of Coach Mario Maronica, selection of players from the county meet to be for his team that is currently training. So we will talk about that. On the flip side.
Yeah, so you couldn't have said it better, Chris Walker. That's a trending issue we're going to discuss even before we discuss the first topic on discussion tonight, solving on this edition of Sports Talk. My name is Ben. This few seconds after that, we're going to put the show straight on the road. So let's say a very pleasant one. Welcome back. And this is Sports Talk. This is Into Your Sports, your number one broadcasting channel anywhere when it comes to local sports in Liberia. My name is Ben. Chris Walcott is also here with me. So we're going to go put the show right on the road, probably with this controversial stuff. The end of the 24 National County Sports Meet was last Sunday. And I did see clearly every day the Liberia coach, Mario Maranika, his deputy, Kevin Sigbe, his assistant, who loves to be called Koluba, his video analyst from South Africa, were all in the ground to watch all the games, with the exception of the trainer, who is from, I think, Namibia or so, but all three...
He's from Malawi.
All the 3-4 guys' names that are called,
including the goalkeeper coach,
Chris Wisse, they all been watching the National County Sports Meet. They were watching with pen and paper. They were taking notes throughout in the Just End the County Meet. At the close of the county meet, the coach named 6 players that he called up to the national team to train with them ahead of the World Cup qualifier matches that are coming away from home, in June. But most notably, I do agree, that one player who was so impressive during the Just End the County Meet wasn't called. And that player was Heaven 11's midfielder, impressive of Maurice Jebwe Kone. Make no mistake, he's a fantastic footballer, good touches, movement is perfect. Mostly he plays forward passes. Those are what coaches want to see. Players to be very attacking. He created some goals. He scored as well in the final or the semi-final. In the semi-final, he scored in the semi-final. He set up the first goal in the final for James Tapper. So his contribution, if you like, were fantastic. But the argument on the internet by many people, even some of our own friends, is that the coach, quote, must, quote, I repeat, must, M-U-S-T, all in capital letter, the coach must call Kone. And I think that assertion is wrong. And I think that perception is wrong. That perception is wrong for many, many reasons. To my own friend and brother, I will call the name, no strong feeling, Moses Gazewu. We have to stop. We must always give the coach reason to have him fired. It is not good, especially we as journalists, to put the coaches under pressure and think that Chris Walker should be called. Theo Weah player should be called. No, we should stop this. What if the contribution of the player is not admired by the coach, or the coach is looking for different quality, or in the quality that the player possesses, the coach already has somebody who has that quality, and so he doesn't want to call the player. The responsibility of who plays on the national team should be decided by the coach who's on to select the player of the national team. He should not be under influence whatsoever of any journalist, of any group who trying to push the interest of their player. By the way, Moses Gazewu, former manager at Intel Sports, big football journalist in Liberia. He worked with the BBC currently. He's been doing a fantastic, marvelous job. He knows the game very well. And I must end up by saying that he's also a big fan of Lofa Kante.
He's not only a fan, he is the Secretary General of the Steering Committee of Lofa Kante.
So I can understand how he comes in at this point. Let's hear from Chris Walker on this.
So Ben, you underscore a war. Must. And I think this is where I have problem, that you as a journalist will want to say the coach or take it another way. His manager, Alvin Clark, who feels his players are the best in the country. You go to a game, you have his player at this club. You think if any of his players that have transferred not playing in the starting lineup, that means the coach is not a good coach. So his players must start all game. which I think is bad. You talk about journalists should give the coach reason to be fired.
Yeah.
For me, I think I have a different side to that. You cannot sit and see your super wasting and say, let me allow it to waste before I come. So where do I come in? If a coach call a listing, as a journalist, you can come out and say, I think this player should be called to the national team. Then you come out with his stats. So I can go and say, you made a listing of attacking midfielder. I think Jigwe Kone stats shows that forward passes, he's 10 times better than Yaya Ability. Scoring goals, he's 10 times better than Yaya Ability. I can come back and say,
Are you serious on what you say?
I'm just saying.
Or just in the if?
Yeah, if.
Supposition.
If.
Okay.
So you come back and say, off the ball, the player is better than this person. And you come with the stats, then you leave it with the public as a journalist to judge. Then the public can look at the coach and say, with all of the stats, front page Africa presented, we think the coach is in error. But to come out, it's not your right. You can criticize, but it's not your right to say this player must be called. Because my understanding of football, I play on coaches. There are coaches who love my style.
But the way you play on me.
Like I play on you. Yes, on a very serious note, if you call a Ben Gaba to go coach a team, while a press union, PU, reporter associate, if he is to call 4 players, I may be the first 1 or 2 because he know what I bring to the table. He know how I can deliver for him. So I'm saying I play on coaches who see me, they like me. There are other coaches who don't like my style of play. So it's about how the coach wants to play. Then he decide he called this player. I don't want to say advocated, but I've done story that this player needs to be called on a national team. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying as a journalist, you cannot come out and say this player deserves call up. But to come out and want to think it's a breath. No. Play on the national team. It's a privilege.
It's a privilege.
We have
right
over 3, 4, 5,000 of footballers.
Take a proper country that have more than 6 million people.
6 million people. So to have that opportunity, it's not your right. You are a Liberian, but so I will come in this forum and say, if the guys from River G or from Leska come on and say, why you did not call the MVP in a tournament, Daniel Toe, he's not there. It's a valid point because the release said 6 best performers in the country made. Go back to that release.
I saw it.
6 best. So if you say 6 best performers, and Daniel Toe won a league with River G as most valuable player. So are you saying those who did the picking or scrutinizing the players after the entire did not know what they were doing? So Martin, people can come and say, why you never call the MVP? But equally so, he called the best defender. So I think it is wrong to want to impose your feeling on the coach. We should do away with it. Give reason why this person deserve a call.
I agree with you. So Chris Walker is driving just exactly the same lane I am in. Fellow journalists out there, including my own friend and brother Moses Gadsiewu, you have to leave the coach alone and not to be writing on Facebook and think that, quote, Jobe Morris Kone must be called. That is a bad practice. I said, gave the coach reason to have him fired. What I did mean is that leave the coach alone to do the job. When he fails along the way, then you fire him. But when you start recommending, put Chris there, put Theo there, put Rufus there, put that other person there, you are not giving the coach the job. You're not giving him reason to have him fired because you influence him.
So if the coach will allow that to happen, then you are not a coach.
Instead of fire him. No, I'm just saying.
So my thing,
you are not instead of fire him because you are not allowing him to work. So in football, when the journalists say give the coach reasons to have him fired, meaning give him the job, stay away from him. Don't tell him to do anything. When he goes wrong, fire him. He does well, extend the contract. That's how it should be. So please, guys out there, our fellow journalists and whosoever, let us give the coach reason to have him fired.
This is
if it is not calling Jobe Morris Kone that will get him fired, you leave him, let him leave Jobe Morris Kone, or when the shit fall down, then we're going to say, we'll get Jobe Kone, you're not calling, so we'll fire you.
I think journalists will not leave the coach. They should recommend.
I agree, but not must.
That's my thing. So my problem with you is allowing to be fired. We cannot sit and see the national team going down the drain. Like the issue with Ansumana Keita. Do you want people to just sit and fold their hands when the loser is getting beaten?
But Chris, I'll tell you why.
Like a weapon boss.
Moses is telling us that Jobe must be called. Theo is a journalist. Theo comes in supposedly from Maryland, and he thinks a player from Maryland must be called. Ben Mani Gapa from Grand Bassa and I come here and sit on this platform and say Theo Williams from Ghana must be called. Do you think we are making sense? That's been crazy. That's been crazy. So what if we've got 50 journalists and we all go for our own interest and say this person must be called, must be called, must be called? That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
And I understand and side with you putting in parenthesis, in quotation, must, should not be. Give the coach reason why this person is preferred to be called or deserve a call up to the national team. Coach Marinika came. No one saw the good in Philip Tano. Yeah, it's the person he won.
He's a good kid. Nobody saw Philip Tano. Even in my own view, I didn't think that Natu Swain would even play this early on the national team. Yes, he's a good player. He reached the game, good height. But I'm just thinking that he's too young. Kid, he's too small. I never ever thought in 2024 Natu Swain will play back-to-back 90 minutes for Lone Star. I never saw that.
Kulubali
saw it.
Kulubali went down the drain.
The coach saw it. I must respect the coach's decision. And it pays off. 2 games, 2 clean sheets, first time in 22 matches. Mario is very correct to pick the kid to play in that position. You can question the coach when the result comes out positive. No. I listened to Alan Green, one of my favorite analysts way back, and people said Barcelona will retain the Champions League when they defeated Arsenal by 4-0 at Camp Nou. Barcelona is untouchable. Is this Inter Milan beat that Barca team by 3-1. When Inter traveled to Camp Nou, they played so negatively, almost the whole game down to 10 men, and they still qualified. People said Inter play negative football. Alan Green said, no, you don't question a win. A win is a win. When I was in Camp Nou a few weeks ago, everybody said Barcelona were untouchable. Somebody that beat the people 3-1, then you won't question that? You don't question a win. When the coach gets it correct, he's the boss. He is the boss. When it goes wrong, then we put him on the firing line. Once he play not to swing in that position and we get results, you can play football to what kind of level. The coach is still very correct. He's very correct once it's going good for him. Philip Tano into the team. Nobody, like you said, Kolobari, he looks overweight in recent time. I learned that he was told to reduce the weight. Every day I see Kolobari on the internet, he does the same thing. Every day he trains. Every day he trains. He started to get better self-esteem of himself. He's a good goalkeeper. Nobody was looking his way. The coach has looked his way. It is up to him to grab the opportunity or let it go. So if Kolobari plays, we're not conceding, we're winning game. Do you think we need to call the goalkeeper to replace Kolobari? No,
No way.
no. So guys, man, please, we can spend all the time on this one subject matter. Let's bring on our first guest. I know the guys from the surfing, sports are following. Let me say thanks for your patience as well to be there all the time. Let's bring them on gradually. If they are still there, let's talk to the very first person. I was just trying to check the need so that we can bring them on. I know Miss Nakwet Ricks, president of the Labrador Surfing Association, should be coming on. Robina Louise Vincent, consultant committee, should also be coming on. If we don't get them, we can talk to the Chess Federation, the guys from the Chess Federation, Thomas Kaya. They are out there in Margibi County at Crete, Lord Chucky, playing man-boggling sports in the form of chess. Do you play?
I do not, but it's one sport I actually try to follow.
Okay. So there you have it. We have Miss Nakwita Ricks and Robina Louise Vincent. Let's say, guys, welcome. Can you guys, starting with Madam Ricks, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, good afternoon, and thank you so much, or good evening, I should say, and thank you for having us today on Sports Talk. My name is Representative Nakwita Ricks. I'm the president of the Liberian Surfing Association, and excited to be here to talk about the Africa Surf Tour, which is coming on May 23rd through the 28th.
Okay. Can we have you introduce yourself?
Okay, hi, I'm Robina Louis Vincent, and I'm a consultant, and I am committee head on the committee with the Liberia Surfing Association. Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's start first with the head or the president. Not many people know about surfing, in Liberia. So firstly, will you provide a background and the platform for the benefit of our viewers to know what is surfing?
Sure. Surfing. Well, surfing is a sport that, of course, has been around for a long time. And in the context of surfing in Liberia, in Robertsport, people have been surfing since 1970s or so, or even maybe, earlier than that. The first surfers, coming to Liberia probably were tourists. And in the 70s, the 80s, in the, once the war started and different things, surfboards would be left on the beach, and the locals there in Robertsport picked up the sport. It is said that the first surfer there made his surfboard from a wooden board and got on the waters. But surfing now has been around, and in the last 20 years continues to emerge. We have surfers in Harper, surfers in Robertsport, surfers in Monrovia. They even teach surf lessons there. Surfing is an Olympic sport. And so my interest in surfing peaked in 2018 when I was visiting and heard about, that Robertsport was some of the top 5 best surfing waters in the world. And I was like, oh my God. So I talked to one of our board member, Miss Hester Baker Pearson, and we actually drove up to Robertsport to see one of the female surfers there. Her name is Esther Tieg, and Esther was the female champion at that time. And I, after that, got engaged with the surfers. So I've been involved since 2018 with the Liberian Surfing Association, became president. We are recognized by the International Surfing Association, which is the world body that regulates surfing. We're also recognized by the Olympics, the Liberian Olympic team there. And it, like I said, is a recognized sport. And our dream is to have a Liberian compete in surfing at the Olympic level. So
Okay.
that's where we are.
Okay. Madam Vincent, as a consultant of the committee, it means that you reside in Liberia. Have you been able to spot some surfers who you think you can train them the fundamentals of the game? Like your colleague said, Madam Ricks, that in the next few years or so, Liberia can be represented at the Olympic Games.
Okay, most of the surfers are located in Robertsport, and also they do have surfers in Monrovia. So they're all based out of Robertsport. There will be this surfing tournament will have 50 athletes coming from abroad, and 10 of those athletes will be Liberians. So the slot is open for 6 males and 4 females. So this is something that we haven't really recognized in Liberia. People around the world has been on shows on CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, that they've come here and actually taking footage of our coastline, especially Robertsport. And others have come and surfed here and actually found it that this was, part of the top 5 destinations in the world. And basically my role on the ground has been as a facilitator and making sure that we're marketing this well, actually connecting with the right people on the ground to make this happen. We have engaged with the government of Liberia, and they have been a great support. We have engaged with MICAT, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Commerce. So everyone has come on board. The president has blessed this, and we're looking forward next week to making this happen and actually having the Liberian people enjoy the surfing tournament here in Liberia. I'll go ahead and pass this on to the representative who will go into a little more details about what this will entail. Thank you.
So you talk about meeting the government officials, talking about meeting Ministry of Youth and Sports, MICA, and so forth. What exactly have they been telling you?
Well, so this is a big endeavor. And when you look at this Africa Surf Tour, this is an international event. Liberia has been chosen to be the first stop on a 7-country tour. So Africa's surfing tour will happen in 7 different countries. Liberia is the first stop. Like Robina just said, there are going to be a total of 60 athletes competing, 10 of whom will be Liberian. And so it's a big deal. We, have been engaging with the government, of course, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Ministry of Information, the Foreign Affairs Ministry, Ministry of State, even the Defense Ministry, because we need the Coast Guard out there in case, of any type of emergency or any type of situation that could happen. We also, have been building a surf village in Robertsport to get things ready. As you know, Robertsport has accommodations, but it's kind of limited accommodations. So, we need more spaces for our athletes to stay. So we have been very, very busy. It's a big endeavor, and they're all trying to make sure that this is a successful event. What we see this as being a catalyst and a way of bolstering our tourism industry, but then also owning and becoming the owners of the fact that Liberia does have some of the top 5 best surfing waters in the world. And so it's time that we understand this and people get introduced to the sport, and so that there's more support for our local surfers and that we can continue to move this sport forward.
I'd like to ask this question. These kind of events, it costs intensive, and is one event of sports that is not well known in Liberia. Uh, you care to tell us, financial wise, where do you get support from hosting this kind of international event?
Yeah, and raising the money has been a big deal. We have a budget of $120,000, and we've been looking for grants, donations from local companies. The government has, at one point didn't have the budget passed, so we're still waiting to see what will come from there. But so far, it's been like private companies that have donated, and then individuals. We were on Spoon TV and did a fundraiser there. We'll be back on Spoon TV this week with a second round of fundraising. It's cost intensive because there's prize money that's going to be given, $25,000 in prizes for all of the winners, that will be shared and split amongst the winners. We also have to pay for the technical team to come on ground from the African Surfing Confederation. So, and building this surf village and the security, so it is a big event. One of the other things I want to highlight is the fact that we will be doing a musical concert as well, featuring Teddy Ride, also with local artists, and a big opening ceremony that's going to include our cultural troops,
The side
government
attraction.
officials. Yeah, so we have so many things going. It's going to be 6 days of events. Tours can happen. If you want to learn how to surf, you can come up there and we'll be giving surf lessons. So lots of activities going on.
How far have you gone in popularizing the game? Now, when they're teaching new surfers or players how to surf, but also putting the game out there to the public, like using the media, the newspaper, television, the radio, and so forth.
I think go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Rabina. Thank you.
Okay, so what we've done so far this week, we did the president did a press release. We did a press briefing with MeerKAT, and we went on Spoon. And we've been on our, Facebook pages and social media to expose this. This week we're doing full media blast with this, and to reach everybody through radio, newspaper, and of course, social media as far as Facebook and Instagram are concerned. And I want to highlight off of what Representative Briggs was saying. This is going to be the biggest surfing tournament on the globe right now, starting off in Africa. This is the first for Africa. And it is kicking off in Liberia. As she stated, it's going to 6 other countries, but it's starting off here. This is big in terms of economic growth. What we're trying to do here, we're highlighting this sport and letting everybody know that it exists within Liberia. Also, the focus will be on the youth. As we move along, we'll be having, the youth will have classes. We'll be able to teach them on the beach, have trainers to train them and show them how to surf. So we have surfers coming out of Liberia since we are in the top 5 destinations. It also highlights what we can do as far as tourism goes in our country. So we're hoping, and we would like for all Liberians to come on board so we make this a huge success. And this is actually going to be annually after this one. So as soon as we're done with this one, we'll be planning for next year for it to come back to Liberia. But hopefully during this time, we have built a little more hotels out there in Robertsport or Harper, and little more, we have a lot of sightseeing out there as well. So we can, have investors come in and we start seeing flow of jobs opportunity within our country. So we're looking at the sporting aspect of it, but we're also looking at the bigger picture of how it's going to impact Liberia as a whole.
Internationally, you are doing this. What do you have planned for a local competition? Because if you have a locally, more people get interested into it than just waiting for international stars to come to Liberia. What plans do you have to have more local competition after this international event?
And thank you for that. Every year, there is a national competition. And in fact, the national competition just took place on May 3rd, 4th, and 5th in Robertsport. And so the winners of that competition will also be representing Liberia in the Africa Surfing Tour. So there are annual surfing tournaments that happen, usually at least once per year. But yes, you're right. We do need to do more, because the more time that our athletes are on the water competing, the better they get. So, and there's just some developmental things that we need to continue to grow our surf team, such as getting a full-time coach that can be working with our surfers, and so many other things. But again, it's funding, and so we're hoping that all of that will come to the forefront, and that we'll be able to get more support for our surfers.
And do you have plans of meeting the national legislature, because this is bringing investment to the country, to see how best they can invest into this and put the association into the national budget?
I agree. We have been in contact with the Senator Bapala from Grand Kipma County. Also, Rep Musa Ability has contributed. I believe that Speaker Kofa is also aware, and there is more talk about trying to get support through either the youth and sports budget. But yes, all of that needs to be done. As you know, sometimes there's money, sometimes there's not. But we're hoping that this will become something that is important, and that the government will step up to help and put a budget there for surfing.
And then lastly, from my end, Miss Vincent, I don't know whether you can pick up this one. I heard Representative Risk talk about Grand Cape Mount County to play surfing. What's the Maryland County as well, to increase the number of hotels. Aside from the two sites, have you been able to identify other sites or other areas that this sport can be played?
Well, basically on the coastline, well, you have to go with these, they call them the point breaks. So where you have the surf, where we have the waves is where they can surf. So you won't be able to surf everywhere, because you have their particular areas that have been identified. So it has been identifying Robertsport, and it has been identifying Harper, as far as I know. Now, Representative Brick, if you can add more of where we could find it, I think those are the two that I'm aware of.
Yeah, and Robertsport, Harper, also in Grand Bassa County, there's waves, and there's waves in Magebe County. There's all along the coastline, like she says, there's point breaks, and there's places, I'm sure, probably in Sino or even River G. There's many places, but we want this sport to not just be located in certain areas, but all along the coastline, and even teaching our school age kids to get on the waters. But first, you got to be a very, very excellent swimmer. So we need to start there with swimming, and so you have no fear of the water. Yeah, but it's a beautiful thing to see surfers. Yeah, go ahead.
So I was just about to ask similar question about what do you look for in prospective surfers, and one watching, they want to know how can they be part. Probably they have interest. How can they be part?
Yeah, I mean, so we have been looking to see how we could develop a Morovia Surf Club, and I think there's been conversations around it, but that has not been fully put together yet. So you would find like a surfer and somebody who can teach lessons. A lot of the surfers that are in Morovia are, pretty very, very advanced surfers, and they offer actual surf lessons. There's surf lessons up in Robertsport. You could go up there and meet the surfers up there. They'd be happy to train you. The big thing, though, is to start you out with swimming, making sure that you are very, very good with swimming before you even get on the board. So that's where you start. And Harper also has a club up there, too, that's been working on it. So Yeah, you start with swimming and then you can get on the board.
So I want to say thanks for your time ever so much. But is there anything we didn't say that you just want to say to cap the interview?
Yes, I want to say thank you again to Sports Talk for inviting us, and I want to also let everybody know that you are invited to Robert Sport from the 23rd through the 28th. Come up. We're looking to have transportation. We have a website. Go to liberiasurf.com or .org. And when you go there, you will find information about the surfing. Also, we have Liberia Surfing Federation on Facebook. We are looking to have transportation going back and forth between Robert Sports and Morovia. There's also, if you want to stay up there, there's hotel information and all of this information that will be available. But there's also the concert on the 26th with Teddy Ride. So you could come out. The concert starts at 2 p.m. Located right on the beach in front of Nana's Lodge. And, we're just looking forward to having a great time. Come out and cheer for our Liberian surfers and catch this sport and be in tune to it, because this is us representing us, and be proud.
I just about
And if you need more information, please contact us and we'll go ahead and share with you. And if you don't mind sharing on your page for your viewers to see and follow, you can go ahead and follow what's on there, get on the website, and so they can see what's going on, the activities, what time the buses will be leaving, locations they'll be leaving from, and so forth. And we will be on the radio giving information. So listen out for that. And thank you for having us in Sports Talk.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can you surf? Or do you want to surf?
I want to because I'm a good swimmer. I am a good swimmer.
Oh, really?
I'm a good swimmer. I cannot grow up in Newtown and I can swim.
I know. So folks, there you have it. We're talking to Representative Riggs and Miss Vincent, giving their thoughts about the upcoming surfing competition that is coming up for the benefit of our viewers tonight. If you don't know what surfing is a surface water sport in which an individual or a surfer uses a boat to ride on the forward section or face of a moving wave of water, which usually carries the surfer towards the shore. So if you have interest, information coming up, I'm saying it. I know it. I just want to, for the benefit of our viewers.
For the benefit.
So if you have interest, information coming up, transportation will be available to go to the Robert Sport between the 23rd and the 28th. Concert by Teddy Ride. That's whole announcement. You guys are supposed to pay some money.
You have to pay.
But let's say thank you so much. Thank you for coming on. Okay, it was a pleasure having you guys. So, waiting for our chess guys to come on. Mr. Thomas Kaya has a competition going today from a Liberia perspective. Is that the reason why you haven't been able to come on early? But we're so fortunate to have the president of the Liberia Chess Federation, Mr. Thomas Kaya. Let's say pleasant welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Sorry, I'm far from home and in another part of our country, so I hope the service here will allow us to do this interview, which is very important.
Another part of our country doing the work of the Liberian people or the Chess Federation.
Yeah, very sure.
Do you care to tell us how the day went today? We know there are two different categories, and we know there are about, I think, 10 Liberians or so representing us. What's the start select so far from Creed Lodge there in Magabi County?
Well, sorry, the internet here is not so good, so there is always a break in the question. But for today, it's hard to summarize the day because the day is still progressing. As you see me spying on the screen, I have to be keeping tab on our video feed from the playing hall to know how the games are progressing. We have the fifth round in the open session and the fourth round in the women's session going on right now. We had two rounds today for open session and just one for the women's session. So as you know, chess is like a heavyweight boxing, but one that takes longer. So the players have been locked in the playing hall since 4 p.m. and they are still there. Few games have ended, but some of the crucial games are still on. In the open session before this round, we have the Nigerian FIDE master Adu Rahim, who has been leading, and he's trying to hold first place. From what I'm screen, he's still in a good position against the Ivorian champion, Nicolas Kogan, and our Liberian, the young, I mean, surprising superstar in chess now, who is going to represent Liberia at the next Olympia in September. He's the one leading the field of Liberians at spot number 6 going into this round. He's Obidiah Sa, the son of one of our former champions, Thomas Sa. So in the women category, we have former female champion Abigail Kaya, who is sitting at spot number 2 going into round 4, but she could have clearly led the entire tournament if possible. Won it yesterday in her match against the Nigerian, uh, also a superstar called Torisha. But she made a very critical mistake late in that game. But we understand the level are not the same, so we like what there's still a chance for Liberia to finish second in the women's session, worst case scenario. And if things turn around, we can win it in the women's session. But in the open session, we are we are looking forward to finishing top 3. That would be
Okay,
a big
and that would be a
news
wonderful,
for us.
wonderful performance for us. But I'm going to talk about the women's section or category specifically. I've been seeing pictures trending all on Facebook, including Intel Sports. I mean, pictures of Abigail Kaya in the match with a Nigerian top seed, and we
Yeah.
learned that she outclassed her opponent. I don't know because my chess is not too good, but I think that was an upset.
Yes, a big offset because for those who don't know, chess is a difficult sport, but chess has the second best rating system in the world next to tennis. The tennis system of evaluation is the best across the world. Next is chess. Chess has an ELO rating system that measures your strength of play and your depth of concentration with an evaluation number. So that number usually does not lie. Going into this tournament, we were expecting the Nigerian female champion, who is an 11-year-old prodigy, but she has to stay back and take her test. There is the regional exam going on now, and she's in the ninth grade. She has to do the junior high exam. Uh, After that, they selected the best replacement of the national champion in the women's session, who is this girl called Bridget Marker. She's one of the best. She was even the one to win the championship until this little girl came and stole the scene. So she has been in Nigeria in other capacities. So they sent her to come and win it all. And she has a rating of 1945. And the lady who accompanied her, Turisha, is 1915. And all of our ladies are 1500 or below, with the exception of Abigail, who is 1770. So that match is like you have Lone Star going against an informed England national team. You
Wow.
root for your
Wow.
country because you have to be nationalistic, but you know
Hmm.
what the result might be. That's how it started. But to our surprise, that game went on for hours, and Abigail Grant slowed her opponent one move at a time until around 6 hour 30 minutes into the game,
Wow.
the Nigerian girl made some crucial mistake, and Abigail went on night up. And to be leading on night, which is TD Pons, you have to be extra to come back from that. And the rest of it was just a slow grind in the end game.
And
And everyone had to join us on social media to watch through our live video feed when she was making final attempt to trick Abigail by creating some pass point along the B and the C file. But I think thanks to her coach, our Nigerian CM2, we got a guy from Nigeria who's teaching our players now. She
Hmm.
slowly avoided winning chances, played defense first, and after defending, push for the win. And the Nigerian superstar had no option but to resign again, which is one of
I
our
mean,
biggest
I'm,
win
I'm,
on the
I'm,
international stage.
I'm sorry for interrupting you at this stage. I mean, we all know upset in any competition. I don't at all want to discount the performance of Abigail. On the overall, you've got to give her credit because if she's rated in the 1700s against a player rated 1945,
1945.
you've got to give her credit if she can go up by a night, which is equivalent to 3 points or so, how to defend perfectly and go on to win. I mean, that's just genius.
Yeah, it was incredible. At some point, we know the rating difference can really show up in the end game. So even though Abigail was leading, but we were saying, well, a draw would be good. Just get a draw. A draw would be good because there are always ways that players can trick you, and especially playing classical, that gives you longer time. First fear was Abigail would have lost on time, but luckily she reached the 40th move and she got an extra 30 minutes, and she started to play even slower, and all tricks by the opponent were just frustrated. So we say, okay, if this is possible, then anything is possible. But we should not forget, in 2022, our national champion at the time, women champion, female champion, went to Lomé. She finished third, and when she went to Ivory Coast last year, she finished second. So this time around is her third time playing in the Zuno. So I think she got some love for the regional event, even though she lost the national championship, but she's playing very well in this event. So
I
depending on
love
how the
that.
match today goes, she could be finishing with 3 points out of a possible four.
Thomas, this victory for Abigail in Liberia, what actually it means for our chess in the region and in this country?
Well, I think it means a lot for the country in the region. There are countries that have been doing slightly better than us, but when it comes to development, I think chess over the past 6 years has beaten most of the other federations because we have used these talented young people to win international awards for the country. And as we speak, they are currently preparing to go and represent Liberia at the World Chess Olympia in Hungary, Budapest, Hungary. So on our team, we have a 17-year-old. We have Abigail, former champion, who just turned 15. We have Kenvi Sambola, who is also 15. So we have a totally young team. And to build experience in this sport, it takes at least 10 years. But for us to train them to play chess for 4 years and you play like an adult, it's not an easy thing. So we think that it shows that our children, our young people can be competitive in every sport, not just football and basketball. We have to open doors of opportunity for them, and we have to expose them so they get to see what life in other parts of the world looks like. And now Abigail might be 15, but she has the chess experience of an adult because she started at 5. There's another lady who plays for one for us because she's the national champion, Georgina Saki. She's very fast, very fearless. All she needs is the experience to get to a certain level. So we think that it shows Liberia is we like to say a country of thinkers, not just a country of runners and people who take action. And the thing about chess that people don't understand is not just a sport. Chess reflects the average thinking of a nation. Look across the world, you check in the developed world, especially the industrialized northern part of our world.
It's
The
broken.
people are doing well on the if you look at the record in chess, it's also in parallel with what they are doing the board. So chess can enhance your ability in all aspects of life. So if you do make it as a chess professional, you're going to be a very productive citizen. So With this victory, we are ready to announce ourselves on the world stage that Liberia is going to make a mark in the upcoming World Olympia, and our goal is to win our section. Every country at the World Chess Olympia is placed in a particular group. This time around, we want to win gold at the Olympia. So we are looking forward to our male team to catch up, even though the competition in the open session is very, very tough. But with the average performance and the fact that our female team is performing this well, we think we can break into the world top 100 at the end of September.
Playing home in sports comes with lots of pressure. You think our team is under that kind of pressure, playing home against the big names in Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, Africa, and other countries?
Yeah, I think the idea of playing home helps a lot because you can sleep home if you want to, even though we are at the Queen Lodge. But you also have the option of making yourself comfortable by doing what you think is necessary. Chess is a mind game. I don't know much about football. We all pretend to be footballer, but we don't know it. But chess that we do know, every little thing can get you off course. Everything can slack you. I'm not sure if it's the same with other sports. So even there's a little gossip your friends might have about you, once it reaches you before the game, it affects your decision making. So you try to shield these players. And you being a professional chess player, if you know there are issues you want to stay away from, you try to create a wall before the event. It's impossible to do it when you are abroad. You follow the organizer's routine, you follow the protocol, the schedule is what you must live by. But yeah, you can choose to say, okay, I come to the event venue like 30 minutes before the game, focus and just play my game. So it helps, and I think some of our players have been using it to their advantage. In the open session, the gap between the top rated player and the highest rated Liberian is almost 400 points, and that is significant. But to see our players are still around the top five, it means that they are rallying home based support to push forward. This West African Chess Championship is the 10th edition we are hosting. We are hosting it for the first time since it became to 4.2. In 2022, we performed well. In 2023, our players struggled a bit in Ivory Coast, even though our female players performed. But this time around, we hosting it with the goal of winning it or finishing top three because we are using it as a training event for the World Olympia, which happened in September. So we want to make sure that our players put in the bed using the support system from home. And thanks to all of those who have joined us as sponsors, we are going to do our best to make the nation proud.
And Thomas, you always liken chess to boxing game. We all know what boxing game is. We know some people have got killed in the boxing ring. We also know that some opponents have thrown in the tower, but the boxing is going on. Some have been knocked off and dropped on the canvas,
Yeah.
losing, their teeth
Yeah.
protectors and so forth. What is the rationale behind comparing a mental chess game to boxing game where the opponents feel physical pain that even take to the hospital or at times even cause death?
Well, it's comparable to boxing in terms of its intensity and the impact it has on the brain. Though you don't see people throwing physical punches, but for instance, in our ordinary life, if something is bugging you, it could be that one test that you need to pass to make it to a big university or some job interview that you must get because you need a job. Sometimes you said you worry until you start to get headache, you start to feel fatigue, you drain yourself just by thinking about it. Then imagine doing this intentionally. You have to figure whatever this person opposite you is thinking about, understand it clearly, and in that same process, find a way to counteract what the person is planning for you without the person noticing it. So you are doing heavy weight lifting with your brain, sitting in the same position and trying to concentrate. So sometimes the game is right before you, but you got to calculate three different variations, and each of them where you would arrive after 5 moves from you and your opponent. So it's very tedious on the brain to the extent that, okay, our Honorable Deputy Minister of Sport today, Honorable Andy Kwemi, he was just trying to congratulate the players in the hall, and he called a little boy aside while this guy from Mali was playing a fellow from Sierra Leone, and they were both in deep talk. All through for about 15 minutes, Andy Kwame was in the hall. None of them knew that our minister was there. Until when Andy Kwame started to ask the little boy, "How old are you?" Then he heard the sound. He just turned around and true sound that, "I'm hearing you." So without even recognizing that he was speaking to a minister of sport, and because he had been forced again. So enduring that kind of mental torture that sometimes can be self-inflicted. And if you go through all of that, losing concentration and losing the game based on one mistake, it gives you the same pain that someone feels when they are punched in the boxing ring. You have to go back home, wipe the sweat, nurse everything, and prepare to go back in the ring the next day. It's not an easy thing. It's tough. And in chess, like in boxing, no matter how many coaches you have, you will sit and do the thinking. You will make the final decision, and you will feel the pain of the loss. It's not a soccer. You score your goal, the team lost, 5-1, you score the one goal, you going home. Everybody's sad, well, yeah, I scored my one goal. At least you feel better. No, chess is you win, you are happy, you celebrate, you lose, it's on you. No one else. You make your decision, you bear the consequences of your action. So that way, chess has always been compared to boxing to the extent of professional sports called chess boxing, where you box in a ring for 3 minutes. They stop the boxing, you go and sit on the chessboard, you play 3 minute chess, they stop the game, you go back and box. Because researchers have come to a conclusion that boxing and chess are just the same. So you should see what happened yesterday when a Ghanaian representative, the official player from Ghana, totally winning against our former champion back on Hammer, and decided to design a game. It's like you're playing soccer. You're winning the game, then you want to over dribble and do other things. He tried to be stylish with his finishing, and he lost the game on the spot because you were playing someone experienced. I mean, he almost collapsed in the hall. He went to the dinner hall. He couldn't even figure out why he wanted to eat. He spent the whole night alone. It was this morning people had to check on him to find out if he was okay. And because of the defeat last night, he lost to a player today that he could easily win because it was still in his head. That's how difficult this is. And our
I
former
know.
champion called Magnus Carlsen, who plays good soccer and plays good chess, has made it clear that there is no comparison. Chess is the most difficult sport you can find. It's physically more enduring than even soccer. While you are sitting down, it's exhausting you. That's how bad it is. When your body is tired, you can find a way to do things. But when your brain gets tired, you cannot even
No,
talk.
you can.
Yeah.
You can. I know. Chris, we got to
Come
let
on,
the
yeah,
president
we
go.
gotta go. Individual sports in Liberia. One may say this is an intellectual sport. Like you said, it shows how we think as a people. Uh, there's not much support to these individual sports, but on the international scene, I think we are making headways when it comes to individual sports than our sports, football, basketball. Uh, what do you say? What you think the Chess Federation or the Scrabble Federation, tennis, and whatsoever? What do you think about this? About support to these individual sports, mainly intellectual sports?
Yeah, I like the point you are driving, and let me just first correct. Chess is both individual and team. We go to the
Okay.
Olympia, we play as a team of four. You win as a team, you lose as a team. So that too is a different game because sometimes you hold your game, you must draw a game that you could win because you want to guarantee win on the other side. So we play both ways, team sport and individual sport. But the main point which I really like is the fact that we are making strides, we are pushing hard to make the nation proud. Yet the support that will never come. It hasn't come yet, as far as I know it. From our recollection, in the last 5 years, chess alone has won more international awards from Liberia than all the sports combined, including football and basketball. We go to watch Lone Star playing. We even have that if we will draw. But when we are going to an international competition, we are going for first place. Last year alone, we went in the Accra Classics that had players from the USA, from England, from other places. We came back with the second place trophy, and in Blaze, we came back with gold. We presented it to the Minister of Youth and Sport. In Sierra Leone, we were invited at the end of last year to play in the Honor 1700 international competition there. They have 4 trophies on display. Liberia won all 4, brought it to Morovia. So we keep doing these things, but when we go sit in meeting with Orange and Celcom, with these banks, they keep asking, oh, what have you been doing? What is going on? And we must beg them to get even $500 or $1,000 that will never come. So sometimes it gets frustrating. What more should we do? We are affecting the lives of young people. There are people in communities that you consider with heavy social challenges. We are trying to give people good self-esteem. We are trying to build the intellectual and the productive capacity of our young people. There is no losing in chess. If you don't go on to play professionally, you could get a scholarship to go to a big university abroad. If that doesn't happen, you could be a productive citizen right here in Liberia and contribute to the welfare of this country. In soccer, if you don't make it to the big league, you'll be a guy in the community who used to play football. So why can't we? And chess is not even that expensive. I understand a single game for our national soccer team will cost in excess of 100,000. 100,000 can run chess in
sometimes
Liberia.
300,000. Sometimes 300,000.
Yeah, 100,000 can run chess in Liberia for at least 2 years, touching the lives of young people across the country. As we speak, we are running a nationwide chess in education program. We targeted 50 schools this year. We could only approach, I think, 15, almost 20. The demand is high, and we got little support from the government, but to get others involved is almost impossible. So I like your point, and we are doing our best with the support we get through the Ministry of Youth and Sport. We will try to keep pushing. Maybe one day people will understand that chess is a low-cost or support system that can help to solve some of our problems. Just before I take leave of you, let me just mention that the West African Chess Championship 2024 that we are hosting is on the team Make a Move to Checkmate Drug Abuse. We want to use this stage we have once in a while. The media gave us the kind of opportunity to. We want to use it to highlight the plight of drug abuse and how chess can be used to resolve that. We know we can intervene before it gets to the point we call people Zogos. So we want to show people how to do it and not to take people to home and intervene when it's almost too late. So we hope we can talk more about this and how chess can be used as it has proven useful in other societies. Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. I really want
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Thomas. Yeah, really Thomas is Liberia Chess Federation president coming on Sports Talk. Chris Walker in the house there. Sorry?
You play against him before?
Yeah, we play, but that was way back. His game was not as good, but then he had edge over me then, but I could pick a chance and
that's why he's the president now.
Yeah, he's big boy. But I must mention that the Abigail Kaya is his daughter.
Because I wanted to ask the question because I'm looking at the name.
No, we asked before a lot of times he appear on the platform. So just for you and a few other viewers, Abigail Kaya is the daughter of Thomas Kaya. And like he says, she just turned 15 and she has a rating of 1700 plus. And at the top rating female player on the continent would be just Honor 2000 because the Nigerian is 1945 and so forth. So she's doing well. So the more games you win, her rating is going to increase. Let's now go on to our last guest, Oro Willie, chairman of the Riverses Steering Committee at the just ended National County Sports Meet. Their representatives in both football and kickball had complained that they have not get paid, even though the kickball team reached the final. And not only did they reach the final, they won it, but they won the final on highest advance. That was a tough game. Ora Willie. Ora, firstly, let me say thank you so much for being so patient waiting for us.
Thank you, Inter folks.
Well, There is an interviewee. Yes.
Oro, you seems not to be a happy man, even though you won the kickball version of the National County Sports Meet. You spoke with me just before that game and said you came to win it and you won it. Why you not happy?
I'm not happy because the leadership of my country is not making us happy. They are reneging on the responsibility, and this is getting the whole team side, and the trophy is kind of sour in our hand. In my outing, we went to a league, we played 6 games, they pay you 1 game. Promises made after the game, they will pay you. Still keep that courage, and then you went on playing, and then you won the cup. And just to know, more of your country, even pass around to extend thanks and appreciation to you. At least to say your just compensation owed. None of our leaders, none, from the superintendent to the legislative caucus, none of them have passed around the camp to extend thanks and appreciation to the team that won the gigantic trophy. Up to current, none of them have done it. And we owe the players 5 games running. 5 games for the girls, 2 games for the boys. That is 7 games.
7 games in dollars and cents.
How much we talking about?
How much are we talking about? Ora,
Yeah, I'm here.
hello? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
In
here.
dollars and cents, how much are we talking about?
We are talking about $24,240.
This morning, is it something agreed upon before going to the competition?
Yes, it's something agreed upon because they requested a budget. We sent the budget to Senator Bill Twawe, Senator Wellington G. Von Smith, Honorable Steve Tikwa, and Honorable Alex Joe Grant. They are our leaders of our county. They got the budget, perused the budget, and told us, okay. Now, we understand that there is a change in leadership. Before you ask the county's account, you must have a fiscal affairs situation. So we had a committee set up called committee. We have millions of dollars in the plan committee. Are they telling us that they need President Joseph Boakai to instruct the plan committee to have 2-3 million available to pay the players? We say no. Are they reneging on their responsibility? We say yes. Because since they won the trophy, not the Bill Twawe, that clean and immoral process, least to say the chair of the caucus, Senator Smith, has stepped on the cam of the kickball team to say thank you for giving us this trophy after 16 years.
And I'm going to punctuate you. I'm so sorry for punctuating you, but why do you think the leadership of the county, the senators, the superintendent, the representatives will not stand up to the team, leader with the responsibility in your word, neglect responsibilities as you are describing? Why do
Especially
you
winning a
think-
trophy.
Yeah, after winning, why do you think they will neglect their responsibilities as you are describing?
That's the $1 million question everyone is asking. Why? And none of them is responding to the question. Everybody asking why. Myself asked the same question. Why? I met Senator Smith. Senator Smith told me he's very ashamed because there is no money to go on the camp. I said, if there is no money, there are wars. Wars are greater than money. Get on the camp, talk to them. You are a leader. Your presence alone calm down situation. While it's true they are angry, they need a just benefit, but the calm words can soften them. He told me we will settle it last week. According, he told me rushing to the county. Now he's back, making no effort to appear. None of them.
Do you
We had a problem today.
Do you think those leaders of Riverside have the financial ability to settle that bill of 24,000 plus.
Yes. It's not individual money. We get close to 20 some millions in our friend account that been controlled by a guy called John Carter in the country. Riverside, any plane that leave Riverside, you pay money to the county authority. For the past 7 months, the account have been loaded in the country with the local bank. We just need the Cocoa senator to get the money out. And they are refusing to do it. In our national account, the country's account, we got money there that can settle the real dough. But they are telling me that they cannot withdraw from the country's account because there is no fiscal superintendent appointed by the president. Yes, I agree. Because of the country's account, the plan committee account. The plan committee account does not need a appointee from President Bouaka. It needs somebody from the legislative caucus, and that's Senator Jevon Smith.
What that means is that they have accepted the responsibility to pay those players bonuses, but there is a glitch there to the account because there's no fiscal superintendent, in your exact word. There's no fiscal superintendent appointed by the president. So when and if the superintendent is appointed, those monies will be paid.
We have a superintendent currently confirmed. What we are saying, we have 2 separate accounts that we have money in. One is the county account that need a fiscal affairs superintendent to get it out. Another account is I don't need a fiscal affairs superintendent to get it out. It only need a communication from the caucus, from the caucus chair, Jevon Smith. That's all. I called the guy, John Carter, presides over the account. I called the financial secretary. He told me they are willing to give the money until the referee authority gave them the instruction. And who is the referee authority? Is the legislative caucus of our country and the superintendent. But they are reneging on the responsibility. Today we had a press conference. Speaking to ills to our leaders, why they are not paying our players. When we left after the press conference, Senator Beltran drove 12 to the camp. And you will not believe what he did. He paid the hotel manager, he paid the guy off, telling the man to drop the players out of the camp.
Wow.
If they need their money, they must go to the steering committee. But since they went to the media, they will not pay. It's Senator BFN on the manner.
So now, if this money is not paid, what may be the next step the steering committee and the playing body will take?
If the money is not paid between now and the time we are looking at, we'll move to the various those steps.
Which time?
On break.
Which time you are looking at?
Starting from tomorrow, we are moving to the various. I know the houses. I know where Bill lives. I know where Jevon lives. I know where Steve Tikwa lives. I know where Joe Grant lives. I know where the superintendent lives. Fortunately for us, everyone lives in Monrovia. And we'll carry those kids, both teams, to the various homes. Let them feel how it look like to have people kids work for you if you don't pay them. But that if Bill Tower's daughter or son are going to play a meet, and then after the game, and no one cares to pay him or pay her, how will he feel as a father? Hey, put down your shoe.
Chris, this is a puzzling situation. I mean, the fact that the senator has come out and said once you go in the media, we will not pay. So you're coming on Intel Sports tonight is going to furthermore exacerbate the issue.
Don't you? I don't know how the senator feel, but we have been engaged in them since last month. The issue started from Sani Kwede. From Sani Kwede. They play all the games in San Antonio, and they only play one game. They beg the case. If y'all come to time, y'all qualify the team, we pay. We talk to them, they agree. They try and pay, they play the game. They qualify the game to time. They refuse to go to that. Imagine the day of after I distributed ticket, VIP ticket to every one of them. And they told me they will come to drop the team in convoy to the field. Those guys left the game, they went for Beer Martin meeting. No enough for that. When the journalists start to call Representative Senator from Rosas County Superintendent to join the guys from NEMA to shake the player hand and do the kickoff, there was no senator around, no representative, least to say is superintendent. I was the superintendent, I was the senator, I was the representative acting in all the positions for them. After the game, we had a trophy. We went back on the camp. None of them for them. I called them. Senator Jivan Smith told me that it's very shame to go there because you don't have money on hand. Can a money solve everything? Can't was greater than a money. Up to now, they are not for that. Today, after coming, Bill Travis got brave enough to go there. When you going there, what negative?
So
Bill Travis went there.
sorry, you just said that, Ori. So where are the players now? Are they still on the camp?
Yeah, I just received call me in that the hotel management is telling them to leave because the senator went and paying off and asked him to allow them to leave the place. And they said they are not leaving. Tomorrow they'll create a scene, they will create a dramatic scene and call the attention of the public. What Bill Travis just spoke to them.
Okay, so thank you so much, Robert Wille. He's the chairman for the steering committee of Riverside County, coming on this platform, Sports Talk. We're taking a round at a time, Chris. We're going to have this conversation another time. But let me say thanks ever so much for coming on.
Thank you all so much for affording me the time and opportunity.
It's a pleasure. Chris, we've got to go. We certainly almost out of time, but we have to say the Under 17 played in Senegal. They lost by 3-1. The return leg is this weekend. Do you think they can overturn that deficit?
With what I saw during the second half, they went down 2 goals in the first half. They came back. The Senegalese were able to score a goal, and Louis Brown got the consolation. If the team can hold together like how they play during the second half, I think they can pull an upset in Monrovia because this team is a new team. Many of the girls, it's the first time playing international competition, and now playing home, they will have the support from Liberians. So I think if the right team will place, they can make it. Not bringing the girls and take them to the technical center, while the visiting team will be Royal Grand Hotel.
I don't know whether that doesn't have much of an impact on the game, but the thoughts of Chris Walker, my teammate on this presentation of Sports Talk. We are at the near end of the program. Let's record the results from you from the Liberia Football Association Montserrat Third Division played off matches that were played on yesterday. These are the results. Mamad FC 2, Junior United 3, Tunnel FC 1, Amazing 1, Finish Augustine 2, Ansa 4, District Academy 1, Western Arsenal 0, Fanfan 1, Golden Dream FC 1, Downtown 2, Young Adidas FC 2, Shadrach 0, Kemokada FC 0, Young Defender 1, Lizali FC 1. So all the matches, there will be return legs. They will be played on tomorrow. Well, we've got to go. Chris, any final word?
I think it was a jam-packed presentation today, and we hope to continue this serving the Liberian people. The issue from Riverside, a close neighbor to both of us, county, it's an issue of concern, and I think this is a developing story. We will continue to follow it tomorrow. Once we leave from here, we'll place call to the senator because it's a huge allegation.
Very huge allegation.
He paid and asked that the girls meet Martin. It just that we never had a time. My team is girls, women being treated in such a manner and form.
You don't want to.
You don't want to. You can do that to your wife.
That's why they win the trophy for the first time in years. Come on.
And they won
on,
the trophy.
Bill. Come on, Bill. Come on.
They won the trophy. I think This is bad on the leadership.
But
Malcolm
again,
Joseph,
it's
Malcolm
one side.
Joseph is a huge friend. He's a guy from River Cess. He
Yeah.
always boastful of River Cess.
Yeah.
I think they need to come in. They need to come in. You cannot be proud so much of a team going into a competition, winning it against no other county but Nima.
That's a big, big win. But again, what else can we say? There are three sides to every story. So in this situation, the River G players in the steering committee side,
River Cess.
the River Cess and the players in the steering committee side, the leadership of River Cess side, and between those two sides lies the truth. Okay, so we'll try as much as we can, like you hear from Chris, to get to the authorities of River Cess. But until then, let's say thank you ever so much for viewing this of Sports Talk on Inter Sports with me, Ben and Chris. Always remember, Sports Talk, Inter. We're back on Wednesday after the holiday. Have a great night.
The star is for Republic, the blue sea is for black people. We know Liberia is our home. The Declaration of Independence was signed in 1847.